the infield, James. And the drivers are just about to make their way to the track. 100 laps is the distance. Last year, it was Ricky Thornton Jr. by over 10 seconds.
And again, some of Delaware double file restarts till 10 or less laps to go. If we have a red or caution flag, all lap cars restart on the tail. As those cars make their way onto the track, the drivers that ran first and second here a year ago. Can Jonathan Davenport, we mentioned Thornton and Moran Davenport coming off that win at the Dirt Late Model Dream, trying to check another box in that future Hall of Fame career. On board with the number one, the Swebert Calf Ranches Valvoline car of Brandon Shepard in his return to the Lucas Oil Series this year, the reigning World of Outlaws Series champion.
Yes, he is. This will be the 7th time he started the Firecracker 100. Best finish was 3rd back in 2019. And I will never get tired of that onboard camera, man. That's awesome.
It's been pretty good for some drivers this year.
Great
Not
look
so
there.
good for some, but
it's been good lately. That mojo has changed a little bit.
I tell you, thanks.
And right off to the left, right over there, that is where the Lernerville Speedway, the track victory lane, is going to be after all of the accolades, on the inside of the racetrack. That's where fans can go down and meet tonight's Firecracker 100 winner.
If Michael Norris wins, he won't get out of here. He just lives, I think he said like, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles away, right?
Yeah.
He won't get home till Monday.
Well, I mean,
if he's down there, there's some of them stuck out in the mud. Some of the campers that may not be out till for a while, but glad the patience this week. Man, Mother Nature just throws you all kinds of curveballs from time to time, and we're going to do it right here tonight. 100 laps, $50,000 to win. The feature purse is $154,000. Thanks to the Thompson family and everybody here at Lernerville for their hospitality. As always, our 5th time here for the Firecracker, sanctioning it, and our average has been 53.8 cars per event, and before that, the previous 5 years was 43.
We're right there, absolutely. Of course, you want to stick around as the $20,000 to win Bill Emig Memorial for the Rush Late models will follow this as well.
Race car engineering pace truck. Again, our caution flags brought to you by Coleman Farms Racing. Our halfway mark brought to you by Tim Sheets at Hellraiser Jacks. Barron's Performance, the white flag, our scales and UNOH. Nutrient Solution Start Zone. And Heartbeat Hot Sauce, the Hot Pit. Get your favorite Heartbeat Hot Sauce products, heartbeathotsauce.com or on Amazon. Hoker Trucking, our hard charger, and Fresh Roof. They will be our hard luck. You don't want to get that one, right?
Fresh Roof Shingle Rejuvenation.
That's right.
Well, James, the field is starting to take shape in what we like to call one of the prettiest sights in all of racing. This is a salute to you, the absolute greatest sports fans in the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, Lernerville Speedway, how about it? This is your starting field for the 19th running of the Firecracker 100 presented by Experience Butler County, Pennsylvania.
Again, we will be back here at the end of August for the Hillbilly 100, the longest continuous dirt late model race in the nation. Started in 1967, the same year that Lernerville opened. A couple of races there at the end of that year. Don Martin, the great promoter here, passed away several years ago. And we are proud and pleased to be back here again, and we're going to do this. Can Thornton make it 3 in a row? Again, Scott Bloomquist is the only driver to win 3 overall here at the Firecracker. He loved this race as well, and as we talked earlier, the late great Dow Carnahan and Rick Eshelman, this is probably one of their favorite races, and we miss both of those guys. And of course, Scott Bloomquist, the legendary Scott Bloomquist, we lost last August, so will Thornton make it 3 in a row? Moran, can he get it? He was second, as you mentioned, last year, started 16th. What about Davenport, trying to check this one off of the crown jewel bucket list? Garrett Alberson, it would be a huge win for him, obviously, the biggest of his career. Norris and Marlar. Marlar's won a lot of big races. but this would be special as well in that 157. But for the local contingent, Michael Norris, oh yeah. What about Colton Flinner? He's going to start 9th in 48.
He was 5th in this race.
Yep.
Back in 2020. Pace trucks will pull in. They dress this track up just a little bit to give them a lap or two here just to buzz the surface. Make sure that it's A-OK and good to go before we officially turn them loose here tonight. Oh, the onboard. They know I love it. They know I love the onboard. All right, driver. What do you think? How's it look there?
I just hope he doesn't do like Trey Mills did at Eldora and rip off all the tear-offs on the first lap, right, of the Flow Racing Night in America event. But Brandon Shepard, of course, he's been coming here for a while when he was with the World of Outlaws. Of course, he's been a Lucas Oil regular, 3 times. He drove for Best Performance. His second stint with Rocket One for Mark Richards. Of course, down in Shinston, West Virginia, down off I-79. So Devin Moran. Now, his dad, this race started in 2007. Donnie was kind of like on the tail end of his career.
Yep.
So he had a couple of starts in it, but it would be big for the Moran family to come up with a victory here tonight.
Absolutely. Donnie made this race twice, but his best finish was only 17th back in 2007. Devin, again, as we mentioned, runner-up last year, now in his 6th Firecracker 100 start.
We mentioned those bonus points here. You get to the end of the year with wins, right? So Thornton's got 9 wins. Moran's won, 5? And Davenport has won 4 times, I believe. Double check for me on that.
Has won what? Sorry.
Moran's won 5 times this year, right? Thornton's won 9. Thornton's won 9. Moran's won 5.
Within the series, yes.
Yeah, within the series,
correct.
yes.
Yeah, you are correct about that.
I'm surprised Thornton's not in the crate race, right? Somebody hired him for that. So
he is going to run he's going to run an IMCA modified and stock car at the Harris Clash at Boone Speedway on Tuesday. Yes.
I'll keep it on Mason Ziegler, Greg Satterley, that row number 8. All right, here we go. Are you ready, my friend? Let's do it. Are you
ready?
Let's do it.
Nutrient Ag Solution starting zone in turns 3 and 4. $50,000 on the line. 100 laps is the distance. Ricky Thornton Jr. and Devin Moran lead them to the green.
The Nutrient Ag Solution start zone in turn number 1. Ricky Thornton Jr. looking for the clean sweep. He was fast time overall, though, batted down the back straightaway. Here comes Davenport at 49. So the top 3 in the points immediately run in the top 3 spots as we come out of turn 4 with 1 lap scored.
And it's going to be Ricky Thornton Jr. leading the opening lap. Jonathan Davenport thought he was going to do what he did in the heat race. In that heat race, he went from 5th to 2nd in 1 lap, and now he's down to the inside in the battle for the lead. In his heat race, he took the lead on lap number 2, and in the A main, he will do the same. Jonathan Davenport leads at lap number 2.
2 laps, 2 different leaders. Remember, Davenport 2 weeks ago at Eldora came from 13th to the win there. Down the back straightaway. Thornton battles on the outside. Right now in 3rd is Moran. 4th, Alberson. Michael Norris runs in 5th as Davenport continues to show the way in the Double L Motorsports 49.
It's Garrett Alberson in 4th still, and Michael Norris continues to round out the top 5. Right now, guys searching for that little bit of moisture on the bottom of the racetrack that we saw once this thing cleans off. And again, we saw that in the B mains, James. This thing got incredibly racy as they go nearly 3 wide on back through the field. It's Mike Marlar, Colton Flinner, and Brandon Overton.
Remember, it depends on where they finish in this race. Davenport could take over the points lead. He only trailed by 15. Now, Thornton got 10 bonus points for fast time in Group A. Right now, Alberson runs in 4th. Norris is 5th. They pulled away from the battle there between Marlar, Overton, and Colton Flinner.
A good look there at Colton Flinner and the 157 of Mike Marlar. There's Overton, as you just talked about. That is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, the rest of the field there on the racetrack. Max Blair also battle for 2nd now, starting to heat up. Devin Moran trying to find a way around Ricky Thornton Jr. RTJ has slid up just a little bit to the, now the outside of the racetrack. Moran glued to the bottom, and RT gets a good run down the backstretch.
Yeah, still a thin edge up there in 1 and 2. You slip that right rear off there, could go over the bank right now. Jonathan Davenport, the lead. 2 years ago, we had 10 lead changes. Last year, we had 6. So far, we've had 2 in the first 7 laps. In Davenport started in 3rd as he leads out of turn 2. There's the battle for 2nd.
And that pace that Jonathan Davenport is running, James, turning laps in the 17.7, 17.8 range means that he is going to catch the tail end of the field here in just about 2 more laps. So lap traffic's going to be a reality for your race leader, and that's going to allow this duo on your screen to close back in on him. Ricky Thornton Jr. continues to keep the 99 and Devin Moran at bay.
Tail end of the field, Gary Stuhler, the 50th year of racing. Right now, the final car in lead lap. All 27 cars still running. There's the battle continues for second between Thornton and Moran. There's Brandon Shepard right now in 11th in Rocket 1.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this racetrack, James, and you think, oh man, you know, it's throwing up a little bit of dust. It's pretty clean. But we've seen actually, you'll see Shep here. He hadn't done it yet, but just before it was on the screen, you actually saw him pulling some tear-offs off.
Got some mud on the camera right there. 8 laps in the books. Davenport 2.2 seconds the advantage as he will pick up the tail in the field as he gets through the bottom, gets around Stuhler. Here comes Moran and Thornton, half a car lead. Thornton has Moran at the line into turn 1.
And that lead that was 2.4 seconds for Jonathan Davenport shrunk just a little bit. They just took 0.2 off of it, did the 20 RT and the 99. Right now that is, yeah, transponder is off there just a little bit. There we go. Now it's Garrett Alberson. Now we're back again. And rounding out the top 5 is still Michael Norris.
Down the back straightaways, they come off at turn number 4. Davenport down the main straightaway has gotten around, as you mentioned, the 77 at Dietz. Thornton second, Moran. Here comes Alberson fourth, and it's Norris, Marlar, Flinner, Overton, O'Neill, Shepard 10th, and Blair, Ziegler, Ferguson, Satterley, and Josh Rice runs 15th.
Yeah, good racing there back through the field as well. That is 8th, 9th, and 10th that you're looking at on your screen. Hudson O'Neill in the 71, Brandon Shepard in a Rocket 1, Brandon Overton in the 76. Again, 8th, 9th, and 10th on your screen. Back at the front of the field, meanwhile, Ricky Thornton Jr. now only 1.2 seconds back and no lap traffic between himself and race leader Jonathan Davenport.
And Moran makes a nice move around Dietz. So the top 3 will be right there. No lap cars between them. Down the back turn. Oh man, that's close. It to Lawler on the bottom. Corey goes a lap down. The lead is 1.5 seconds, 15 complete as they work lap 16. Off at turn 4. 20 RT and 99 are going to close the gap here into turn number 1, Dustin.
It was 2.5 seconds at one time. It's now down to 1.1. The advantage for Superman Jonathan Davenport. 1 back marker between himself and the 20 RT. And it's Corey Lawler, as you mentioned, James. Thornton will dispose of Lawler this time in turns 3 and 4. Devin Moran now a few car lengths back behind the current series points leader. And heavy lap traffic, as you just saw, directly in front of your race leader, Jonathan Davenport. The Superman's got to make some decisions here very, very quick.
As they work lap 18 off of turn 4, Davenport. Here comes Thornton. You see him in the shot there. Third is Moran. Alberson is fourth. Michael Norris hanging in there in 5th. Long way to go here. 82 laps remaining, and there's the battle for the lead down the back straightaway. About a 6 car length advantage for Davenport into turn 3.
Do not want to slip that right rear up over the top of the racetrack anywhere here at Lernerville, but especially coming off too, because that is one hellacious drop off over the back straightaway. 0.7 of a second the advantage for Jonathan Davenport the last time by, and there's exactly what 0.7 of a second looks like on your screen. The 49 now trying to work around Spencer Hughes, Dan Ebert, and actually about 4 other drivers there, James.
And turn number 1, Davenport goes down low. Thornton, here comes Moran on the bottom. The top 3 are going to get right here snug into turn 3. 20 laps scored, 80 to go. Davenport, Thornton, Moran, Alberson, Norris, still your top 5. Marlar, Flinner, O'Neill, Shepard, Overton 10th.
Rounds out the top 10 in this one. It's 21 laps in the books, and we've got a Coltman Farms Racing caution flag as the 93 of Carson Ferguson has gone around. 21 laps unofficially in the books here at Lernerville Speedway for the Firecracker 100. Carson Ferguson on the Paylor Motorsports number 93 goes around, and that draws the Coltman Farms Racing caution. And he might not be happy with Dalton Wilson there, it looks like. As was giving a few gestures there, Ben Shelton.
Yeah, those two were battling for position out of turn 2, got together. Ferguson goes around, and now he's going to make his way to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit at car 93 as we see our first Coleman Farms Racing caution of the evening.
Well, Carson Ferguson going to pull down to the attention of Scott Fegter and the crew. And that Donald Gina Bradshaw, number 93. Ben, back down to you.
Yeah, they're just checking, making sure that left front, the hood's not down, rubbing on the tire, getting a little mud off the nose of it, going to lean in for a word. All 4 Hoosiers up on this number 93, and the temperature's probably gone up inside the cockpit. The drivers, the Payor Motorsports pilot will make his way back out.
Well, the temperature went up here, excessive heat warning, right, James?
Yeah, starting tomorrow, yes.
Well, it started tonight.
Started 24 hours earlier. By the way, an early contender for the Hoker Trekking Hard Charger, Chubb Frank, right? He's up 8 spots here in the first caution of the race. 21 laps scored. Jonathan Davenport took the lead back. Excessive heat warning. I'll never forget Mason Ziegler a year ago. Thornton led the first lap. Davenport's led ever since. Thornton is second. Moran, Alberson, Norris has hung right in there. Marlar, O'Neill, Flinner doing a good job. Colton Flinner. And 9th, Shepard. 10th, Overton, Max Blair, Ziegler, Satterley, Rice, and Wilson.
Chubb's up nine positions from
another spot, right?
How about that? Yeah. How about that? Good stuff. All right. Delaware double file restarts until 10 to go.
What do you think Thornton's going to pick here? He's going to pick the top, isn't he? On Moran, maybe. Heck, we've been wrong before, right? So
wrong more than I'm right.
If it was Schultenbrand, we know where he'd be right there. Kenny, right. End of the show. By the way, Kenny started 27th. He's up to 19th in the 29, the 2-time track champion. Again, they've only run 1 late model race here this year. They have been rained out 13 times at Lernerville here in 2025, including the last 2 nights. We're going to get this one in, though.
Yes, we are.
Beautiful weather here tonight. Don't forget, after this one will be the Rush feature event. That'll pay $20,000 to win, and then they will have a non-qualifiers race.
Yep, the EMIC Memorial coming up after this, and again, the winner of the Firecracker 100 will be in the Lernerville Speedway Victory Lane area for the fans, the fan area, back here behind the main grandstands down towards the turn 4 side. So it's Jonathan Davenport, and you called it, James. RT chooses the outside lane. That puts Dev on the inside, Alberson on the outside, and Norris will go to the bottom. 21.
Yep, 21:79 to go here at Lernerville.
We spend way too much time together.
Yes, we do. Well, the locals doing well. Norris in 5th, Flinner in 8th. Ziegler, he doesn't run here weekly,
regional,
but he's
regionally,
he's 12th. Satterley 13th.
Absolutely.
Max Blair 11th.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ones right there. 11th for the 111. See what happens. Here we go.
Caution lights turned off. Green flag going to wave. This time by 21 laps scored, 79 laps remaining. And the Newton Korean Ag 49 leads them to the Newton Korean Ag restart zone.
Good restart for Devin Moran. He'll wheel it down into turn 1. Ricky Thornton Jr. has run the top, I believe, every lap of this race. Thornton Moran drifts up. Is there room? They're side by side. Here comes Alberson at 58. Off of turn 4, Moran trying to throw it in, and no, he leaves Thornton room. These guys race each other how many times a year? 50, 60, 70 times.
Yeah.
Good clean race right there as Davenport leads down the back straightaway.
I am stunned the 20 RT was able to thread that needle right there. I thought for sure that the 99 had him cleared. Instead, he proves us wrong and begins his pursuit once again to the 49 of Jonathan Davenport. And you know, the fan side of us, man, hate to see that caution. Things were getting good as they got to the tail end of the field, and now in clean air, Jonathan Davenport immediately opens back up. Well, it was 1.1 seconds the last time by. It might be just a tick bigger this time by. It is 1.5 seconds the advantage for JD.
24 down, will be a 4th of the way next time around. Thornton, Moran, Alberson, Norris still 5th, and O'Neill, Flinner, Marlar, Overton, Max Blair to 10th.
Look at HUD.
How about Rice, his first time here? He's up to 12th as Hudson O'Neill will throw the slider in front of Norris. So new 5th place runner is Hudson O'Neill in 71.
And he started back in 10th, but takes that spot away. That time by at the scoring loop, and he is trying to tiptoe around the top of this 410 mile oval as well. You know, it's kind of interesting, James, because before the caution, we saw so many guys running right up around the bottom, and now as they fan out, not so much in 1 and 2, but as they fan out down in 3 and 4, you're going to see most of that lead trio or maybe even quartet running up on the high side of the racetrack as we go on board with Brandon Shepard.
Brandon Shepard right now back in 13th. Josh Rice is 12th. Satterley is 11th. Overton is 10th, and then Ziegler Frank the top 15 right now. So we still have, I believe, DJ, all 27 starters still running with 27 complete.
Look at the hands of Brandon Shepard as he goes around, man. You think that these guys aren't doing extraordinary things in these race cars? Out there running side by side on a dirt track like this. Watch Sheppy especially. Watch his hands here coming down the front straightaway, man. Yo, wowza.
Wow. Right behind Brandon Overton there in 76. So Davenport still leads 28 complete.
I mean, that should give anybody an entirely new appreciation for what these guys do.
It's a workout, no doubt about it. Got CrossFit Overton in front of him, right? So
yes. Oh, and one car goes around, and it's Ken Schultenbrand, and that will draw the Coltman Farms Racing caution flag for the second time here this evening. 29 laps scored, 71 laps to go in the 19th annual Firecracker 100, presented by Experience Butler County, Pennsylvania.
Experience Butler County, Pennsylvania. It's more than just a slogan, it's a way of life. Located in picturesque western Pennsylvania, Butler County offers a glimpse of small town life, yet is close to major cities, only 25 miles from Pittsburgh. From one-of-a-kind attractions and restaurants to charming towns and scenic trails, there's something for everyone in Butler County. In fact, Butler County is a prime location to experience countless activities, including arts, the great outdoors, fairs, festivals, family fun, dining, golfing, wineries, museums, parks, and much, much more. For more information about Experience Butler County, Pennsylvania, and all the great fun that it has to offer, visit experiencebutler.com.
And we appreciate Experience Butler County, Pennsylvania, coming on board to be the presenting sponsor of the Firecracker 100 this year. And those folks that are coming back for the 20th running of this race next year, bring a camper out and experience Butler County, Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. Ricky Thorne Jr. second. Davenport took the lead on lap 2. Max Blair on the last restart. He restarted 11th, right? I mentioned that. He's up to 7th now. So keep it on him in the Brad Spochaz entry. So Delaware double file restarts. Again, we do that till 10 or less laps to go. So Davenport out there by himself. Thornton, Moran, Alberson, O'Neill, Norris, Blair, Flinner, Marler, Satterley, Overton.
And Chubb is still the early candidate for the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger. Back to green this time by 29 scored, 71 to go, and a good restart for Jonathan Davenport. He's trying to bring Devin Moran with him.
I believe 26 of the 27 starters still left. Spencer Hughes appears to be out of the race. Out at turn number 2, Davenport, now Moran and Thornton again. Here comes O'Neill on the bottom. You're about that. You've got the top 5 in the points, Dustin, in the top 5 spots off of turn 4.
Yes, you do. Ricky Thornton Jr. hangs on to second ahead of Devin Moran. Moran trying to get that good run down to the inside. Again, they ran 1-2 in this race last year. And here comes Garrett Alberson. Alberson with a good run off corner number 2 on the outside. And now he'll duck down low as Moran gets too high down in 3 and 4. That right rear slips over. He's able to keep the car under him, and we stay green. Alberson goes to 3rd.
So on the last 2 restarts, Blair has gone from 11th to 6th down to 111. He's in the hunt. Davenport still leads in 49. 1.2 seconds over Thornton Alberson. That's all it takes. Is such a thin line up there, DJ. Here comes a battle side by side between O'Neill and Blair into 1.
Blair may not be done yet. Laces out, Dan, as the driver of that specially wrapped Willie's World number 111 this weekend. Goes to the inside. Max Blair looking for a career payday. He's won the Rush late model portion here a couple times at EMIC Memorial for $20,000. Looking for a $50,000 payday here this evening. Still side by side with Hudson O'Neill.
They may make the move right here. O'Neill slipped up a little bit. O'Neill shoots back to the outside. Davenport still leads about 7-8 car lengths off of turn 4 as we score lap 34. Thornton, Alberson, Moran, O'Neill, Blair, Marlar, Satterley, Norris, Flinner, your top 10.
I tell you what, those bumps down on the inside of the racetrack, down in turns 3 and 4, man, the character, whatever word you want to use, it's adding some excitement to corners 3 and 4. You got to hop through them just right or take the smooth line around, as you see Hudson O'Neill doing exactly that, taking the rough ride through, but maybe gaining a little bit of ground on Devin Moran.
You got that hole to go through, and then you've got that berm on the inside. We've seen many over the years clip that inside berm with their nose as they come off of turn 4. Going to try to pick up the tail end of the field, which is turn number 1. Davenport at the line with the lead. It is right now. The lead over Thornton is 1.8 seconds.
And battle for 5th continues to rage on there on the right side of your screen. Max Blair trying to work back by Hudson O'Neill yet again, but again, right there. And when Hudson O'Neill hits that high side just right, coming off corner number 2, he's able to power back by the 111. And Hud, he goes through the whoop-de-doos down to the inside of the racetrack, 3 and 4. Blair chooses to go to the outside of the speedway. Now Blair back down to the bottom in turns 1 and 2 again. Hud pushes up a little bit. There's that run down the back straightaway we just talked about.
In 26 cars still left in this race. Spencer Hughes scored 27 laps out of this one. Stuhler.
Well, they just make contact there, yeah. Blair and O'Neill.
And now going to pick up the tail end of the field now. Jonathan Davenport about 5 car lengths behind Gary Stuhler. If this thing stays green, it's going to get close again. Here comes Thornton, and here comes Garrett Alberson. All one little slip up by Devin Moran because costing 3rd. He's back to 4th, but still a long way to go. 39 complete here tonight.
Yeah, 1.6 seconds the advantage. That's what it looks like between the 49 and the 20 RT. And James, as you mentioned, lap traffic about to become a reality as the tail end of the field is backed up to the fast 49, and Jonathan Davenport's going to have some decisions to make right here as he's going to look around the high side of both Gary Stuhler and Corey Lawler.
Well, the fastest car before this last lap was Alberson. Now it's Josh Rice who's up to 11th and 11. His first trip to the state of Pennsylvania racing. And right now, 10th is Rice as we got a going at it right here.
Davenport, he hooked that rut, man. That car just went completely sideways. I thought he was going to lose it. Instead, he keeps it underneath of him, and in one fall swoop down in 1 and 2 now puts both Gary Stuhler and Corey Lawler between himself and Ricky Thornton Jr.
Thornton slides way up. He's got to get around Lawler and Stuhler. Here comes Alberson. Here comes Moran down the straightaway. The top 4 all together into turn 1 of the same straightaway. 42 laps complete, 8 shy of the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark. Jonathan Davenport took the lead on lap. This is going to be far from over. Here comes Thornton charging on the bottom, DJ, off of turn 4 on lap 43.
Boy, he sure did. He made a bold move right there, and he takes another 2/10 off Jonathan Davenport's lead. Davenport now trying to work around the 60 of Dan Ebert. Back in 3rd, it's Garrett Alberson. Alberson slipped back about 1.3 seconds of the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. Moran remains in 4th, and Hudson O'Neill continues to round out the top 5. Now 44 laps complete in this one.
By the way, Chubb's up to 13th now.
From 24th?
Yep, not bad.
Let's go.
Not bad. An early contender. We're still 6 shy of the halfway mark. Brought to you by Hellraiser Jack. And the Coleman Farms Racing caution is out for the 3rd time in the race.
Brandon Overton in the 76 slips up off the top of turn number 4, and that will draw the Coleman Farms Racing caution 6 laps shy of the halfway point here at Lernerville Speedway. 44 laps in the books, 56 laps remaining in the 19th running of the Firecracker 100, presented by Experience Butler County, Pennsylvania, and Brandon Overton with trouble on the Longhorn Factory number 76. Ben, down to you.
Crew Chief Anthony Burrows leans in to get a word with him. All 4 tires are up on the Heartbeat Hot Sauce number 76 down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce hot pit. They're going to go to work on the right rear, though. Looks like maybe a shock adjustment on the right rear as well. As Brandon Overton was in the top 10, he's going to find himself now at the back of the pack. And I tell you one other thing, guys. If you are Ricky Thornton Jr., you are probably hating these Coleman Farms cautions. He's better on the longer runs than it seems like Jonathan Davenport is. Every time he starts catching him, we see a Coleman Farms caution.
Well, the fastest car on the last lap was a driver that started back in 17th, Josh Rice, who's now 10th. Coming off that big $30,000 victory in Eldora prelim a few weeks ago. So 44 complete. Davenport, Thornton, Alberson, Moran, O'Neill, Blair, Marlar, Shepard. Brandon Shepard had dropped back to what? 12th, 13th maybe, and now he's back to 8th.
Yeah. You're exactly right. You mentioned Josh Rice up 7 spots. Ken Schultbrand is up 7 spots as well. Ben, back down to you.
I was going to say, I think it says a lot about this track and how much moisture is in it. We talk about abrasiveness and guys having to change tires during these 100-lap events. It was not even a thought for the Longhorn factory team down here. They just made some shock adjustments. Right rear, they peaked under the left front, sent him back out on the same 4 Hoosiers he came in the pits on.
All right, good insight there, Ben. Your Hoker Trucking hard charger, James, you mentioned it, still Chubb Frank right now from 24th to 13th.
So Spencer Hughes officially out of the race. He'll finish 27th. Jared Miley, the Joe Corrado 10, is out. He'll score 26th, and I believe Stuhler is out as well. So he'll finish 25th. So 24 of the 27 starters still running in this race. Davenport 6 shy of the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark. Moran, just one little slip up has cost him a spot. We'll see what happens here on the restart. Can Garrett Alberson get by Ricky Thornton Jr. and challenge Davenport at the Nutrien Solutions restart zone to begin lap 45?
Back underway in this one. Jonathan Davenport took the lead on lap number 2. James trying to lead the rest of the way. Garrett Alberson now down to the inside of Ricky Thornton Jr. Here comes Devin Moran, momentarily side by side down the back straightaway. 58, 20 RT, 99 is there as well. Here comes Alberson. He's got a run at the scoring loop. It's Garrett Alberson up to second.
He got a good bite there off of turn 4. Now Thorne back on the outside. Here comes Moran. O'Neill 5th, Blair, Marlar, Shepard, Satterley, Rice, your top 10. Now Thorne will try to pull away. On that bottom is Alberson. Oh man, he got up on 2 wheels. Down to turn 4, he hangs on to 3rd.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, we saw that in-car camera from Brandon Shepard, right? And what he was doing on a smooth racetrack. Imagine what those hands are doing whenever you hook those ruts down to the inside of turns 3 and 4. Man, that is some gnarly stuff. Max Blair now up to the 5th position as Jonathan Davenport, once again, just like he does in clean air on these restarts, James out front by 1.8 seconds.
Yeah, good battle back there. Marlar Shepard trying to make up some more ground. There's the battle. That is for 3rd and 4th. Devin Moran runs 3rd. Garrett Alberson, again, Blair up to 5th. It is still Davenport out in front, 2.1 seconds ahead of Thornton. 2 laps shy of the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark.
Hudson O'Neill once again trying to work on that outside down in turns 1 and 2 and hit his marks to get that good run down the back straightaway and launch that 71. Possibly back in front of the Brad Spoach has 111 and Max Blair in front of them. The battle for 3rd. Garrett Alberson continues to pester Devin Moran after Alberson hooked that rut down to the inside of turns 3 and 4. James this time by the Hellraiser Jacks halfway, 50 in the books, 50 to go, and it's all Jonathan Davenport.
He'll pocket an extra $100. Here comes Blair on the bottom. Blair and Alberson going at it. Max Blair, runner up here 5 years ago, on the bottom of Garrett Alberson out of turn number 2. They're going to go side by side. Max Blair, we still got 50 to go. It's still Davenport right now, but a sporty battle for 3rd on back.
And it really is. There's Devin Moran, there's Garrett Alberson, and there's Max Blair in that Willys World Wrap number 111. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And they're just a stone's throw behind your 2nd place car, Ricky Thornton Jr. Thornton, now 2.3 seconds behind your race leader, Jonathan Davenport, who continues to pick him up and put him away.
So right now, Blair 5th, O'Neill, Satterley, Shepard, Marlar, Josh Rice still your top 10. 48 laps remaining. Davenport won $100,000  2 weeks ago at Eldora Speedway, looking for his first firecracker to be worth $50K into turn 1. And that would really tighten the points race up here as we head to Ohio in a couple of weeks.
About Mason Ziegler now up inside the top 10. He was not even going to run the super late model this weekend, was Mason Ziegler. As you look back on a battle just in front of him, the battle for 7 between the 1 of Brandon Shepard and the 22 of Greg Satterley. But I want to give Ziggy a shout out. He wasn't even going to run. We rained out the first 2 nights.
Right.
Ziegler tells his guys, go home, get the car. They bring the super late model
in an open trailer.
And there's the 25C now challenging Mike Marlar for the 9th spot.
All right, now Davenport in control, 55 complete, 2.5 with Thornton, Moran, Blair, and Alberson. I tell you, Max Blair, if he could just stays green, or if they get into traffic right now, he will close the gap on Devin Moran into turn 3. There's the battle back there between Marlar, Ziggy, and Rice.
Yeah, and that lap traffic once again has become a reality for your race leader, Jonathan Davenport, as he's trying to work around the 93 of Corey Lawler. And it was a 2.5 second advantage for Jonathan Davenport. It was down to 1.9 the last time by. This time by, I think it's going to be even closer at 20 RT, closing in at still 1.9 seconds for the Fast 49.
There's still plenty of racing room out there. We got 2 and 3 wide out there. Right now, Davenport into turn 3, works the outside. How about Dan Ebert? He's managed to stay on the lead lap. He right now runs in 22nd, and the rookie in Minnesota in 60. As Davenport will clear Lawler and Ebert into 1. As he goes to 1.8 seconds, the advantage over Ricky Thornton Jr.
Gives Davenport just a little bit of breathing room, and here comes Max Blair. Blair works around the 99 of Devin Moran. That's for third. It'll be official this time by at the stripe. Max Blair into the third spot, and he is going to close in on his good friend, the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. And we have got trouble over in turn number 2, and it's Dalton Wilson and Carson Ferguson. Remember, those two got together at the start of the race, early in the race, back on lap 21.
They were running the 16th and 17th, Ben Shelton.
And guys, business picking up down here. Devin Moran has come into the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Also, Brandon Overton back down here. Dan Ebert's going to come down, as well as Dalton Wilson. As you got to think we're to the point in the race where if the car's not what you want, you got to make the change now if you've got anything to be on this Pure River Steel podium.
Well,
59 laps scored. 59 laps scored, 41 laps to go. We do have a look at the instant replay as to what brought out this Coltman Farms Racing caution. So we look from the drone, and I believe it's going to be kind of in the bottom left-hand portion of the screen as we'll look at this Dave Warren Power Sports instant replay. Okay, so that's turn 2 in the bottom left. And so, all right. So now that I've seen where it is, we're gonna pull that back up here in a second as they go to work on the 18D down in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
How about Blair? What lap was that? We had that one caution on the restart.
21.
We'll check the Dave Warren Power Sports replay.
Yeah, keep your eyes on the middle left over here. There they are. Oh,
They're leaning.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
They're leaning a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So 59 scored. But Blair restarted. Let's see. That caution was the second caution of the race, right? He restarted 11th. He just climbed to third in the 111. And he's going to be right there as Dan Ebert comes back out. So Max Blair, only one driver ever from the state of Pennsylvania has won this race. That would be Rick Eckert. Max Blair, you mentioned he's won the Bill Emming Memorial.
And going to work, that was Chuck Kimball, the crew chief on the 99, and Devin Moran going to work down there on that race car as he is still not back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, and they're scrambling on all 4 corners right now, trying to get the hood off right now, though, with all 4 tires up there, running out of time down here. There's a lot of issues here on the 99 car.
So it'll be Davenport, Thornton, Blair, Moran, Alberson, your top 5, DJ. Then O'Neill, Satterley, Shepard, Marlar, Ziegler is 10th.
From 16th.
Then Rice, Norris, Flinner, Chubb, and McIntosh. For 59, still 41 to go. I'm not sure Max Blair wanted. I mean, he's been running good. He's gained
that car
8 spots.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens on this restart. His good buddy Ricky Thornton Jr.
Hey, if
Max Blair dropped off the Outlaws Tour, running an independent schedule the rest of the year.
If Max Blair would win, you might have the Blair kids and the Thornton kids both down there eating confetti in victory lane.
Confetti.
Brandy Blair may eat confetti in victory lane.
Yes.
The yellow lights have been turned off.
Whenever he's run regionally, the last couple of months, Blair has been beatable.
He's got 5 wins. He's racked up 5 wins over the course of this season as a 35-year-old. And we're going back to green flag racing. Devin Moran trying to get rolling out of the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit and rejoin this field at the tail. We're going back to green in the Newton Ag Solutions restart zone. Jonathan Davenport is your leader.
So he gave up the 4th spot. He'll restart on the back. There are still 23 cars still running in this race.
Here comes
Hughes,
Blair.
Miley, Stuhler, and Beats are out. Here comes Blair on the bottom of Thornton.
Max Blair trying to take the 2nd spot away.
He may have it,
Really?
DJ.
Oh.
That
No.
was close.
No, 17 one-thousandths of a second. It was the 20 RT.
We still got 40 to go. It's Davenport, 1.1 seconds. The battle, they're side by side into turn 3. Behind them, they're almost side by side. Here comes Blair. Can he finally clear his good buddy Thornton? He gets on the gas down the straightaway. No. By a nose, it's still Thornton.
Oh, man. It's good stuff. 1.4 seconds the advantage for Jonathan Davenport. Blair, I mean, pushed up the racetrack a little bit right there. Coming off corner number 2, you saw those tires turn to the left and the car kept sliding up the speedway. Thornton's getting a little more. He's moving to the outside more, James, coming off corner number 4 here these last couple laps.
DJ Chubb's up to 11th, by the way.
Give me your
Michael
best,
Norris
give me your
out
best
of this
Chubbzilla.
one. Chubbzilla.
Give it to
He's
me.
up to 10th, by the way, just past Rice.
Chubbzilla.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Our good friend Rick Escherman,
He loved it. He loved saying that.
Yep. Here we go. There's the battle there. It's Davenport, 1.9. Thornton, Blair.
Look out, man. Mike Marlar, yeah. Marlar just washed up the racetrack. That allowed Mason Ziegler to go by. Now Marlar going to try to return the favor and get back down underneath the 25Z. He'll do so, at least momentarily. It's Greg Satterley just in front of them.
Chubb up another spot. He just got around Shepard.
Why? Chubb to 9th.
Chubb to 9th.
Up from 24th to 9th. I'm here for it, man.
That's right. That's right. Davenport right now, 65 complete, 35 to go. Thornton, Blair, Alberson, O'Neill. Satterley has climbed into 6th. Ziggy is 7th. Marlar, Chubb, Shepard, Rice, McIntosh, Schultenbrand, Overton, and Flinner.
Pennsylvania guys, man, they talk about the P.A. Posse and sprint car racing. What about the Pennsylvania drivers in dirt late model racing? You've got Max Blair, Greg Satterley, Mason Ziegler, and Chubb Frank. 4 of them inside the top 9.
We need Danny Dietrich in a late model at some point, right?
Tim Schaefer's been in. I mean,
well, we saw Briggs Danner in a late model.
Yes, we
USAC
did.
star.
Yes, we did.
All right. By the way, the fastest car that last time around was Blair. Now it's Thornton. It's right now Davenport, 2.3 seconds ahead, but he's going to pick up the tail end of the field. And Blair trying to get another run on Thornton to 3. They bounce through that. Alberson solid in 4th. In car 58.
That the holes down on the inside of turns 3 and 4. It could end up being what decides this race. Remember, we saw on that last long green flag stretch, Jonathan Davenport hit it one time, man. I mean, I thought that car was going into the mezzanine over at turn number 4. I mean, he had it up on 2 wheels. We've seen Garrett Alberson hit it. On the flip side of that, though, James, when you hit that thing right, it can really kind of catapult you up a little bit coming off the corner, too.
Devin Moran's not made much headway. He's up to 19th, though, after giving up that spot
And
after
to be
that long pit stop.
And to be fair, he pulled out, and the field had already taken the green. I mean, he was a good little ways behind him when that green flag came back out. Fantastic battle there for the 2nd spot as Max Blair just continues to hound his good friend, the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr.
Get a run out of turn number 2. The Bobby and Jessica Kohler 20 RT. The Brad Spochaz 111. Davenport puts another lap on Ebert. Dan running back in 21st.
Comes Max.
Max Blair right there, half a car length. He's been close to grabbing that runner-up spot. He goes to the bottom now. He'll have a run out of 2 as they go side by side. The 111 and the 20 RT. Could he finally clear him here on lap 72?
It's got to be tough. You want to get the spot, but you don't want to use up your stuff as well. 2.9 seconds, the biggest advantage for Jonathan Davenport this entire race. It's now down to 2.6 seconds again as he reaches the back of the field. Dan Ebert has gone a lap down. There's your leader on the left side of your screen. That battle for second on the right side of your screen. Fans on their feet. And now does Blair have him cleared, this time by off the corner? He does. Max Blair to 2nd, up from the 8th starting spot.
And he restarted 11th at one point, so he has made his way up to the runner-up spot. Right now behind the 93 of Corey Lawler. So there's 2 lap cars between first and second as Davenport will clear Lawler. Here comes the 111 of Blair. Thornton kicks it up high, goes into one. Thornton is married to that top most of this race.
And look at Garrett Alberson.
Here comes Alberson in 58.
Yeah, Garrett Alberson trying to rally there on the low side as well. And you can see the gap Max Blair is able to put between himself and Ricky Thornton Jr. 2.5 seconds the lead for Jonathan Davenport. Last time by, this time by, holds steady at 2.5 seconds.
Davenport's coming out of turn number 2. He's got it into turn 3 behind the 6 Clay Harris. Here comes Lawler. Here comes Max Blair.
A lot of lap traffic for JD right now, James.
Still got 25 laps remaining in this race. If this stays green,
look at that.
Can Blair catch him?
Look at that. A lot of lap cars right there in front of the 49. Blair able to take 0.3 of a second off of Jonathan Davenport's lead that last lap. Let's see what he does this time. It's going to be closer.
Yeah, he needs to get around Lawler right now. Down the main straightaway, he'll go to the outside of the fellow Pennsylvanian into turn 1.
Wow. Wow, he took another 0.3 off. It's down to 1.8 seconds.
Changes his line. He has to get around Lawler. Then he has Clay Harris in front of him. Then Dalton Wilson in front of him. Here comes Davenport off of 4. Blair, oh man, that was close. He gets around Lawler, trying to squeeze through the middle there of Harris. And we've got a Coleman Farms Racing caution out for the 5th time.
Max Blair did not want that. He was given a James Essex PSG inside his race car, and we have got a Coleman Farms Racing caution with 22 laps to go as we've got 1 car off the top of turns 1 and 2. Now Josh Rice off the top of turns 1 and 2 with 78 laps in the books here in the Firecracker 100. And Ricky Thornton Jr. led lap number 1. Jonathan Davenport has been the leader since lap number 2. But Lernerville Speedway, you've got a new 2nd place car. It's the 111 of Max Blair.
By the way, Pennsylvania is 2nd, 6th, 7th. Chubb is up to 8th.
From 24th.
Yes. He's an early contender for the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger, and he may not be done yet. As you see the 11 of Josh Rice. First trip to the state of Pennsylvania, coming off again that big win a couple of weeks ago at Eldora, career victory. They decided to make the trip out here. Sean Fullwood, the crew chief. He had climbed to as high as, I believe, 10th. He was 20th on the last scored lap.
The Pennsylvania Mudslingers. Did you ever have that T-shirt back in the day, the Pennsylvania Mudslingers?
I remember that.
Shirt? Yes. Yes, absolutely.
We miss our great friends, of course, Dow Carnahan, longtime voice here at Lernerville. Dave Kitty, of course. Man.
He's a great friend of mine.
Absolutely.
Yep.
He would be smiling down on this one if Blair can win this one, wouldn't he?
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he would. So Josh Rice going to get the 11R pointed back in the right direction. And he will rejoin this field at the tail. Still Delaware double file. We'll do that up until 10 to go. And Max Blair is going to choose. It looks like the inside lane on this restart as Josh Rice is going to take the Rick Jones 11 down to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. And come to the attention of his crew. Ben?
Yeah, the crew's leaning in to get a word with him. There again, all 4 tires up on this race car. Checking that right rear to make sure it's not blistered, but they're looking under the left rear right now, possibly seeing if there's some issues down there. And I tell you what, first time here, he's done himself proud. And James DJ, we saw him get his biggest career win, an Eldora prelim a few weeks ago at the Dirt Late Model Dream, $30,000. It seems like he is branching out more and more. Got his first ever Brownstown win this year as well. It's been a good year so far for the driver of the 11.
So right now, 22 cars still left on the racetrack. 78 complete, 22 to go. Can Blair pull off the upset here tonight? He has gone from 11th to 2nd since, I believe, the 2nd restart of the race. Here we go, DJ, the Nutrien Solutions restart zone. Davenport, Blair. Blair worked lap after lap to clear Thornton, and he lines up beside him right on the Delaware double file.
Yeah.
See if he can rework it again and get the 2nd out of turn number 2. And he will power into 2nd. I think Blair's got something for JD, don't you?
He might. He might. He's looking for his biggest career win. Oh, and he's going to slip outside in the corner. And Thornton had to get on the binders to keep from hitting him.
Holy cow, here comes Ziegler.
They all bottled up. They all bottled up right there.
Well, that allowed JD to pull away a little bit. Blair and down. Thornton almost slipped off the track. Here comes O'Neal. Here comes Garrett Albertson. Here comes Ziggy. Chubb Frank to 8th. Shepard in there. They're trying to go 3 wide here out of turn 4. Oh, baby.
They're going to be running over the Nutrient Ag Solutions flags down there here pretty soon. 20 to go. As Hudson O'Neal continues to work the top side, coming off, we've seen that the entire race, coming off turn number 2. There's Albertson. Mason Ziegler wasn't even going to run this race.
Right.
He's up from 16th now, battling inside the top 5.
19 laps to go.
So there's
McIntosh, a shout out to him, up to 10th. There's the battle back there.
Yeah, that's on the left side of your screen. That's the battle happening in front of the right side of your screen. Brenton Shepard in the Rocket 1, who's running in 8th.
Okay, 18 to go. Strategy for Blair. You want it to stay green, right? Because they probably will pick up the tail end of the field.
Yeah.
Right now you see the deficit. On the screen, it's about 10, 12 car lengths, 1.4 on the scoring monitor. Thornton 3rd, O'Neal, Albertson, Ziegler, Satterley, Shepard, Frank, McIntosh. Overton, who pitted this, back to 11th.
1.5 seconds the advantage for Jonathan Davenport. Davenport has steadily been a 10th or 2/10 quicker than Max Blair here since this restart every single lap. There's a good look at the 111. I will say, Blair's keeping pace with the 49 right now, maybe better than anyone has on a restart thus far.
As you said, and the Coleman Farms Racing caution is out in turn 4 for Kenny Schultenbrand.
And now you wonder, going to be 16 laps to go. They're turning lap times in the low 19 seconds. With 21 drivers still on the racetrack. So now you get down to that point where you might not reach the tail end of the field, and quite candidly, if you're the race leader, not going to push quite as hard to reach the tail end of the field.
Blair stumbled in that hole there. That was a big to do there with Thornton, O'Neal, Albertson, Ziegler all bunched up there. Satterley is 7th. Chubb is 8th. Shepard 9th. McIntosh 10th. Ferguson has come from the tail, twice now?
Is he up to 11th? How about that?
Yep.
Mike Marlar, Devin Moran has rebounded after going to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit up to 14th. How about Daniel Hilsebeck? Give him a shout out, James. Daniel Hilsebeck currently runs in 15th. He barrel rolled in qualifying earlier tonight. Had to go to a backup car, took a series provisional to get in, and he's come from the 25th starting spot up to 15th now.
Well, it's $50,000 to win. Second is $20,000. Third is $10,000. But Blair wants that 50, right?
Yeah,
he wants
absolutely.
that 50. He was keeping pace with him. Yeah. Not saying he was going to catch him. They were going to get to traffic at some point, but
as a matter of fact, the last lap, Max Blair was quicker than Jonathan Davenport the last scored lap.
Well, it was 1.5 seconds before the caution, the 6th caution of the race.
And what's tough on these restarts is, and we saw this the last time, right? It's once you get out there and racing, you kind of know where your marks are and you know where to hit. But as you just saw from the drone right there, where the track is tore up from all the rain here on the inside of 3 and 4, it's a lot harder to judge that on these restarts. You're coming in at a different angle. You're coming in at a slower pace. You've got someone beside you. Everything about that is different. And just quite frankly, it's just not easy to know exactly where you need to go to either hit a spot you need to hit or to miss those ruts on the inside of the track.
Blair's like, man, I can't shake this Thornton guy, right? How many times have they raced on the track side by side, green flag racing? They've restarted a couple of times side by side. He's going to have to pass him again. Jonathan Davenport, once he is out in front, he is so hard to catch. But again, 16 laps remaining. Blair, Thornton, O'Neal, Albertson, your top 5 behind Davenport.
Davenport was 19-1 the last time by, James. The back of the field was they were turning laps about a second slower. Again, you can do the math. There's only 16 laps left to go in this one.
All right. Nutrien Solutions restart zone off of turn number 4. Davenport will lead him. Blair trying to follow in his tire tracks. Here comes Thornton back on the outside at 20 RT.
Thornton gets a good restart, but does he have the momentum coming off corner number 2? He might. Blair will slide up though, take the line away. Will Thornton look down to the inside? He will.
Oh boy. They got together. They got together, and we got a new leader.
Thornton.
And Davenport may have Blair contact with the 49, and we've got a new leader. It's Ricky Thornton Jr. Are you serious?
Wow, well, Davenport's going to go back to the outside. What a bizarre turn of events on the restart with 16 laps to go. Now here comes the 20 RT back down to the inside. The 111, oh man. Look, Davenport back out front.
We're in the Nutrien Solutions flag zone. On the flag zone. And now Thornton drifts up top. Davenport back in front. 14 to go.
Well, that was hairy for a moment.
That was, Blair got in there hot, didn't he? And he made contact with the 49. The 20 led a lap. Man, oh man, Ziegler, by the way, is up to 6th. 8:13 to go.
And Ziegler may not be done yet. His best career run in this race was an 8th place finish on a couple of different occasions. Ricky Thornton Jr. now trying to close in on the 49. Max Blair back to 3rd. That's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all right there on your screen. And that happens about 1 full second behind your 3rd place car, Max Blair.
Don't forget O'Neill and Alberson back there. They're battling for that 4th spot in the championship points. Here comes Chubb, or Satterley rather, in 22. Well, the Pennsylvania drivers, they've done themselves well, no doubt, here tonight, DJ, with 11 laps to go.
Absolutely. Still 4 of them inside the top 8, half of the top 8. The Pennsylvania Mudslingers. Davenport out front, RT. 1 second was the advantage the last time by for the 49. Ricky Thornton Jr. has caught an absolute whoop-de-doo down in turns 3 and 4, and that allowed JD to gain 2/10. James, now 10 laps to go in this one. If there's a caution from here on out, it'll be a single file restart.
You wonder if Blair, he's losing contact here with the top 2. If there was some damage on that contact with Davenport on that restart, Thornton swings it out way wide out of turn 4.
Well, you also
Garrett Alberson in there now in 4th now, trying to make some headway, trying to make it on the Big River Steel podium tonight.
Well, and you also wonder if Max wasn't, pushing everything for all it was worth too before that last caution flag with 16 laps to go, knowing that was his chance to gain on the 49 to Davenport. Also, the 20 RT pedaling hard on the very outside of the racetrack. He's trying to reel in your race leader, but he's losing ground. Jonathan Davenport was another 10th between between himself and Ricky Thornton Jr.
The 7 to go, lap 93. They work in off a turn 4. It was 1.9 seconds the last time around. Ricky Thornton Jr., he's going to give it all he has, right? He's going to knock that quarter panel off in turn 4, 1.8.
He gained a 10th back right there.
And they'll have 6 laps to go next time around. Davenport holding steady off of turn number 4. Blair, Alberson, Ziegler still the top 5.
Let's see what it is this time by for Jonathan Davenport. He gained that time. Davenport actually put 3/10 between himself and the battle for second on your screen. 6 laps to go.
Cole Perrine, Tyler Bragg, of course, the crew chief, Corey Fosved. 20 and 111, trying to hook up if this thing stays green, but they're running out of time. 5 laps to go. The lead is still 2 seconds, 2.9 over Blair in 3rd.
Jonathan Davenport. Well, he comes into the event 2nd in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings. And if they were to finish as they run right now, man, Ricky Thornton really high that last time. Down in turns 3 and 4. It actually stay that way because of the 10 bonus points that RT got for being the fast qualifier in Group A.
If this thing stays green, they might pick up the tail in the field, maybe not. 3 to go. 49, 20 RT, 111 pedaling hard. Down the main straightaway, it's 1.7. He's got to do more than 1/10 of a second every lap, DJ, if he's going to catch him down the back straightaway.
With 3 to go, you're absolutely right. Now less than that. Coming around to 2 to go this time by, and there's a look at the gap. You can see the 20 RT running the extreme high side of the Speedway. 2 laps to go for Jonathan Davenport. Ricky Thornton Jr. takes 3/10 off.
Tell you what, they are going to pick up the tail in the field. Rice back there in the 11. I don't know. Barron's Performance, 1 lap to go. Thornton and Blair pedaling hard. 1 lap to go, Dustin, to decide it for $50,000.
Ricky Thornton Jr. is driving the 20 RT for all it is worth. Final time around. Jonathan Davenport has the back of the field side by side in front of him. Ricky Thornton Jr. trying to close the gap, James. They'll head into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. RT is charging hard, but it's not enough. For the first time in his career, Jonathan Davenport wins the Firecracker 100. Ricky Thornton Jr. second, Max Blair third, Garrett Alberson fourth, and Mason Ziegler from 16th will round out the top 5. Hudson O'Neill 6th, Greg Satterley 7th, Chubb Frank from 24th to 8th, Carson Ferguson from the tail of the field to 9th, and Donald McIntosh, his first ever visit to Lernerville Speedway, will round out the top 10 here this evening.
As they always say, another lap, right? But he takes the lead on lap 2. Then they had that restart where Thornton led lap 85.
Yeah.
And that was wild. And then Davenport got it back on 86. 8/10 of a second at the finish. So we have 100 laps completed for the top 18. Josh Rice, the final car in the lead lap, in that 18th spot.
Still a bit of business.
Didn't Ferguson go to the tail twice?
Yes. Still a bit of business to take care of, number 1. Number 2, EMIC Memorial for the Rush Late models coming up after this. And number 3, as long as Jonathan Davenport makes way and passes through the UNOH Tech and Scale area, after victory lane here on the front straightaway, he will be in the Lernerville Speedway fan victory lane back here behind the main grandstands up off turn number 4.
Now check that off the Crown Jewel box, right? He did the topless 100 last year for the first time. He's won 4 Dirt Late Model Dreams, and then he wins here for the first time the Firecracker at Lernerville. Unofficially, again, Thornton second, Blair third, Alberson fourth, Ziegler fifth. So Pennsylvania, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 8th here tonight.
Half the top 8.
Yep.
Bring back the Pennsylvania Mudslingers.
Got to do that. It's just an awesome state. I mean, one side you have Lernerville, the other side you have Port Royal, you got Pittsburgh, you got a lot of great tracks in this Keystone State. Fans should be very, very pleased, and we'll see them at Pittsburgh, back here at Lernerville, and then at Pittsburgh, and then Port Royal. Guys, down to you.
Yeah, that's right. It is official. Your winner here tonight at Lernerville, Superman Jonathan Davenport. He's going to make his way into Lucas Oil Victory Lane. V1 feature winner as the fireworks go off. That 88th time in his career he's won the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, but the first time he is a Firecracker 100 champion, presented by Experience, Butler County, Pennsylvania. And he's got 50,000 reasons to smile when he climbs out of this race car. The Nutrien Ag Solutions, Lance and Darla Landers, Longhorn number 49. And again, becoming the 13th different driver to win this coveted event. And when he climbs out of the race car, you know he's going to have the steering wheel, he's going to have the Hoosier headband, and he's going to be ready to celebrate with the fans of Lernerville. Again, picking up his first career win in this event. Led all but 2 laps tonight. Ricky Thornton Jr. led the first one, and then he led one late. But Jonathan Davenport overcame adversity, and he gets the V1 feature win. The steering wheel goes on top of the race car. He climbs out. Race fans, your winner, Superman Jonathan Davenport. Champagne bath down in Victory Lane as the fireworks go off. No more questions about when it's going to happen. It happens here tonight. So he gets a big breath. Congratulations, the Donna Gross Seed Midwest Sheet Metal Kart 49. Jonathan, no more questions of when. You are a Firecracker 100 champion. How good does that sound?
Check that one off. Finally. I've had this one circled for a while. Thanks to all y'all fans coming out here. This was awesome. The car was really, really good there, and then I don't know what happened on that one restart. I think I got hit by 2 different people there. I've been running the same line for 99 laps or whatever there, and I don't know what went on, but it knocked the left front off of it, and the rack's all messed up. I couldn't even hardly turn it, so the steering wheel was turned like a quarter turn. So after that, it was just all gas and brake and trying not to spin the tires, and just couldn't steer at all down on that end no more. And then I couldn't turn down through this hole like I needed to anymore. So anyway, thank goodness we held on a little closer than I wanted to be there at the end. I didn't really know what to do with those 2 lap cars there, but I figured if I could stay just right behind them and keep my speed up, then maybe somebody couldn't slide in there.
You've led laps here before, but when it gets to the end, you just have not been able to get to victory lane. Between the contact and all the cautions late in the race, any concerns?
Yeah, for sure, man. I really felt like I got rolling there a couple of times up through lap traffic, and once you get by the first 2 or 3 there, then they kind of spread out and they kind of run one line instead of all over the place. But once I finally get rolling there, I felt like we would stretch out a good lead and I get a good rhythm there, and then we'd have a caution. I'm like, dang, here gives them another shot, because I knew the top was kind of there, but I just didn't ever know how good it was. There was just enough lip there that somebody might could throw a Hail Mary for a couple of laps and get a good run on me. But luckily that didn't happen. Really grateful to be standing here finally, man. This one's been eluding me for a long time. We finally got our first win, I think, last year or the year before. So just an awesome racetrack. I've always loved this place, man. Just super slick, real technical. It's a tough place to get around, no doubt.
To be a Lernerville Firecracker 100 champion, put that in words.
Man, it's really tough, I don't know how to say it. Just, man, it's just so tough to win here. I've been coming here a really long time, and when I was out there leading, I was like, there's this one other guy that used to be really good running through the middle here, and he used to win quite a few here, and then used to win quite a few at Eldora too. So old Scott was on my mind there towards the mid part of the race. That man taught me a lot. We all miss him for sure. I know y'all do too. But anyway, just thanks to Lance and Darrell Landers for sure for giving me this opportunity. Steve Martin at Nutrient Ag, ASC Warranty, Dynagrow Seed, Mark Martin Automotive, Mark Martin, Bobcat of Batesville, everybody, Longhorn, Bill Stein, Longhorn Dynamics, VP Fuels, Go Lithium Batteries, Mark IV. I always forget to mention Tam. He does a great job for us. Chris at Midwest Sheet Metal, Burt Transmissions. It takes a gang. All of our product sponsors, Lucas Oil, Mega Plumbing, just a whole lot of people I have behind me, and really proud to represent every one of them.
Race fans, for the first time ever, Superman Jonathan Davenport's a Firecracker 100 champion. DJ James, I'm going to kick it up to you, and then we'll catch up second and third on the Big River Steel podium.
Absolutely. As Ricky Thornton Jr. led that first lap, and as he alluded to there in victory lane, James, that things got a little hairy there on that restart there towards the end of the race as they hooked the ruts down in turns 3 and 4. A few guys got sideways. Blair had a run. RT came charging down to the inside. And he is going to come up. He and Blair are both going to come up just a little bit short. And the driver that finished second is now with Ben Shelton.
Ricky Thornton Jr., crazy restart with about 16 to go. You get to the lead for a lap. What's going through your mind at that point?
I went down in turn 3 and just caught the hole wrong and destroyed the left side of him. So that's not how I wanted to pass him. I just slowed down kind of there and won. Let him get back in front of me. Like we raced together too much to go in and just kind of destroy a guy for a win. So I felt like I needed to get a little bit better, but overall, really good weekend for us. Congrats to JD. His stuff was really good. So I feel like maybe if we got to play in traffic a little bit long, but I think the other 2 cars just tried to destroy each other the whole time, cause a bunch of yellows. So that part kind of sucked, but I got to thank my boys. They're working hard. Everyone at Kohler Motorsports, Hoker Trucking. CJ, Melanie Jones are here, Jones Races Products. It sucks to run second with sponsors here, but it happens. Capital Waste, Elite Ready Mix, Knights Companies, Coltman Farms, Clements Racing Engines, my wife, everybody for coming out. With the rain the last 2 days, we got a pretty good crowd for Saturday.
Ricky Thornton Jr. is second on the Big River Steel podium here tonight. We'll slide over, and third tonight on the Big River Steel podium. It's chaotic down here. Same question for you, Max. One, you come from 8th, you're up to 3rd, you get up to 2nd. Talk about that restart there with about 16 to go. What happened from your perspective?
I don't know. I thought JD was entering a little bit higher here, so I had a good run down the backstretch and kind of charged it, and it didn't work out. So, Ricky got back by, and man, if yellow didn't come out when I got to 2nd, I think I might have had a shot at it. Who knows how it would have played out in lap traffic, but you know, I mean, I'll run third to these two. I'll take that every day.
Big night for this team, and I know this team's been working really hard.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, we had a good run, got some TV time with the Willie's World Wrap, so that turned out really cool, and thank them guys for allowing me to do that. And just got to thank my car owner, Brad, and all my sponsors. We got a really good group of people here, and hopefully we can click off some more good runs.
Max Blair, 8th to 3rd tonight at Lernerville.
And a big cheer there from the Lernerville Speedway crowd. Well, James, let's go ahead and take a look at the race recap and see how we got to this point with Jonathan Davenport getting the accolades as the victor.
Yeah, Max had actually, as I mentioned, fell back to 11th at one point and climbed back to 2nd. And that caution there, like you and I talked about, Brandon Shepard, Brandon Overton battling it out right there. And Davenport got the lead on lap 2, led until what, lap 85?
Yeah.
Thornton got back around him for a lap, and then Willie checked off the topless 100, checks this one off, and looking for his 4th championship as he'll that gap will be, it'll be closer right there. Yeah, they get together.
Yeah.
And
oh man,
that was wild, wasn't it?
It sure
and that was all she wrote after that. But boy, Thornton and Blair hooked up there at the end and tried to catch him. It was 0.8 of a second over Thornton, 1.4 over Max there at the end. So $150,000 here in the last few weeks for JD. $100,000 at Eldora and $50,000 at Lernerville.
Not bad at all. Well, Ben Shelton, you did a great job as always reporting from the infield in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Your final thoughts on the 19th running of the Firecracker 100?
Well, it was classic Lernerville. Just when you think, you know, what's going to happen, you have a late race restart with fireworks. And I tell you what, not just in the air, on the racetrack, fantastic race tonight. As we leave Lernerville, that battle for the Big River Steel Chase for the championship presented by ARP, it is razor thin between Ricky Thornton Jr. and Jonathan Davenport. The weather's heating up, so's the battle. Guys, we'll see you at the next one.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. James, as always, fantastic job, my friend.
Yeah, and Scott Bloomquist, of course, many 8 dirt late model dreams. Davenport runs Eldora like Bloomquist. He ran this track like Zero did. Zero, a 3-time winner. Davenport finally gets it done here tonight. But overall, hey, it was a wet start to the weekend, but it ended spectacularly.
It absolutely did. Well, that is a wrap on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series portion of the program. For those of you that have watched